Alright, this video is for the wrist car. For cars in general, we have two rules always. Number one is pain-free range of motion. It's very simple because we just back off in whatever direction has pain. For example, if I have pain, no pain here, but pain when I move past that, I would stop just before that sensation of pain to ensure that I'm not causing increased symptoms. Rule number two is joint isolation. So today we're going to be isolating our wrist. We have to pay very close attention to our forearm and our elbow here, because it's very easy for me to rotate my forearm while trying to move my wrist through the full range of motion. And what I like to do is, our base position here is have our palm and forearm up towards the sky. I like to just rest my hand here. I'm not giving it the death grip, just to ensure that I have some feedback. So if I do start to turn one way or the other, I'm going to sense that with my opposite hand. And with the wrist, we have flexion, extension, ulnar deviation, deviation towards the midline, and radial deviation, deviation away from the midline of the body here. So I'm going to be using all those directions of motion to maximize my range of motion. I'm going to start out here with wrist flexion. I'm going to go as high as I can up here without tweaking my fingers, and then I'm going to maximize my wrist flexion here with deviation to the outside. And as I slowly extend my wrist, I'm going to maximize my pressure to the outside here and try to carve out a nice smooth circle. And then once I maximize the extension with the deviation to the outside, I'm going to slowly, while maximizing extension towards me here, deviate towards the midline. And then I'll slowly curve back up here into flexion. Show you from the side here, flexion, deviation to the outside, extension, deviation to the inside, with flexion, and back to our starting step here in flexion. From here I can reverse my circle, so I want to go flexion, deviation towards the inside, slowly extend my wrist, maintaining that deviation, slowly come across, extend with deviation to the outside, and flex back up. Now, something that I can vary within this is the position of my hand. I can go with karate chop hand or a fist during the exercise, and I can also change the starting position of my forearm, and that's good to do because that way you train your wrist with different positions of the forearm. So I can start from a position of my forearm facing the inside, or I can start with a position of my forearm facing the ground here. So all of those are viable options for the exercise. I'll show you with this variation here. I'm still going to use this hand to assist me for any feedback. I can start in flexion or extension. Doesn't matter where we start, as long as you're completing that circle in both directions. Extend, deviation to the outside, slowly make my circle across, extend back up towards my starting position, and reverse from there. You want to try to do between 2 and 8 reps in a set, multiple times per day if you're dealing with a wrist injury.